Hey there everyone, thank you once again for watching Jack's Hacks. This is the third episode of the series and I'm just excited to keep the content coming, so thank you for watching. Today's episode is going to be something slightly different to last week's, but it is going to be on a similar pretense. So last week we gave you tips on how to use WhatsApp online. Now I've got a tip for your browser that you use. So people out there may use Safari, Firefox, Google Chrome. I actually use Google Chrome, but whatever you use, there's actually tools and what I would call almost apps that you can download as an extension on that browser that will enhance how you go about your business. I've got 5 recommendations today, so stick with me. 3 are non-property related and for everyone, and there's 2 bonus ones for people that are in property. So out of the 5, in no particular order, the first one, SessionBuddy. SessionBuddy is an extension you can download to your Chrome, Safari or Internet Explorer, which will do 2 things, and it's really, really good. The first thing, it can memorize the tabs or the browsers that you have open. So as an example, let's say you're working away and you've got 12 tabs open, your computer shuts down. If you open up SessionBuddy, it's already traced what you were doing and you can click that back open. I know that on Macs and on some Microsoft computers, you can go on history and do that. But with SessionBuddy, you can pull up historic tab mixes. It's really good for supporting that. So number one reason that SessionBuddy is good is because it can pull up stuff if it's crashed. Second of all, if you obviously just shut the page and then open it back up, it can restore that for you. But the second reason it's great is you can save templates of browsers of mixes of tabs that you can open given a certain task. So let's assume you need 5 tabs open every time you do a particular task. You can open up the 5, you can save that browser with those 5 tabs. So you might have, if you're in property, for me, if I'm analysing a project, I may have the agent's website open, I might have Rightmove open for comparable sales, I might have a utilities link open so that I can work out what the utility costs are going to be, and I may have stamp duty costs on the government website. I could save that as property analysis, go onto SessionBuddy, click it, and it will open up all the tabs ready for me so that I'm efficiently in a position to analyse those projects. So number 1, SessionBuddy. So the second app you need to be downloading, which is also an extension to your browser, is Grammarly. I know what you're thinking. Most of you probably have it, and most of you think that Grammarly is just a spell checker and your emails or your Word or Microsoft Word already does that. So the great thing about Grammarly is it integrates with any interface that you're on. So you might be on a completely different website doing an FAQ or asking a question. You might be on Facebook doing a post. You might be on LinkedIn doing a post. Grammarly integrates and makes sure that not only your spelling is correct, but also your grammar is correct. It also gives you thumbs up and rates how you're coming across from a sort of prudence perspective. So if you're coming across quite aggressive, it will tell you that, which doesn't come up a lot for me, I must say. So Grammarly is a great tool, especially if you're dyslexic like me, and every additional letter at the end of every word, increasing in how long it is, doubles the opportunity of it being spelt wrong. I use it on every computer that I have. It's really useful. It's just that additional assistance and spell check that you do sometimes need. The third extension and the last non-property related extension is a software called Loom, which is spelt L-O-O-M. Now this software is, again, an extension. It sits in your extension, but it's actually a tool. What Loom does is it records your screen and you at the same time. So what you can do is completely cloud-based. You'll download it, it will become your extension. If you're going through a website or looking at an Excel sheet or doing anything on your computer, you can click the Loom extension button at the top right-hand side of your browser, which by the way is where pretty much all extensions are stored. And once you click that, you can choose to screen record and record yourself. That will then be uploaded to your web-based library, and then you can share that unique URL to anyone that you want to watch that. It's great because people can watch it back and forth. They can pause it and start it whenever they want. They can write comments on certain minutes or sections within that Loom video. We use it all the time. So as an example, when our website editor was editing our website and we wanted feedback on beta stage, we would log in, walk through the website, clicking on different areas, explaining what we would like changed. and then our web editor could then go back into Loom, watch it back in his own time, code our website in his own time, and make comments on certain areas that he would like to change, ask for more feedback, or engage. So Loom is the third and last non-property extension I'd advise. So here we go. For all you property folk that have waited through the first three for the first two property extensions that I'd recommend using. Both of them I use pretty much daily as I work on the acquisitions in our business. But remember, these are extensions that you can't just save as a bookmark. So these aren't, Facebook homepage and things like that. The first one is something called Advanced Property Insights. What this does is it completely integrates with Zoopla and Rightmove and will tell you things about that property. So let's use an example. Let's say I've clicked onto a 3-bed home in Henley, which is where I live. If I scroll down, there'll be an automated box with normally about 5 or 6 key information elements there. And what it will tell me is how long it takes a property to sell in this area, if the market has gone up or fluctuated within the last year, and also what the general prices are in that area. So it's a really fast way that integrates directly onto Rightmove, that you can see if that area of the market is buoyant, selling expensive currently, trading a lot. This is useful because if we're looking at projects in areas that we're not familiar with, we can get an initial feedback on what the actual data is saying. And if you go by data, you're never normally wrong. So that's the first property one, but the fourth extension, which is Advanced Property Insights. So 5 out of 5, last one, which is again a property related extension, is just called Price Tracker. I've seen across some other browsers that it can actually be called different things. It can be called Home Price Tracker, but my one is called Price Tracker. You'll see it here. And in short, when a property goes on the market and is either fluctuating in price, it will show you what date it's been fluctuating in price, and it will also show you if it hasn't fluctuated at all. This tool is really, really useful for predominantly understanding if that seller has been trying to sell that property for longer, and therefore they may become a motivated seller. So what you can look for is if you go on Rightmove or a property selling software such as Zoopla or whatever you're looking up online, if you click on that property on Rightmove, it will show you if the property's price has come down and when it came down. And normally if a property has been on the market for more than 6 months and been reduced more than 2 or 3 times, it's a flag for me to definitely approach that vendor and see if there's any value add there that we could do on that asset. So the fifth and final extension we use is Price Tracker. Again, the name sometimes varies depending on what browser, but if you put it in on your extension download, you should be able to find it. A huge thank you for watching Jack's Hacks, and please do, if you haven't done already, like and subscribe so that you can follow more business tips and hacks, and also watch our developments unfold on our YouTube channel.